Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Could I ask you to take your seats? Welcome to the Medical Alumni Auditorium. The annual Fall Faculty Convocation and Awards ceremony is about to begin. Dr. Brenner? Great. I'm Dr. Lynn Cleary, the Vice President for Academic Affairs. The Fall Faculty Convocation traditionally marks the beginning of each academic year at Upstate. It serves to honor those individuals who have made outstanding contributions to our campus and community. Our procession today includes Dr. Jay Brenner, Associate Professor, Department of Emergency Medicine and Chair of the Faculty Council, Dr. Danielle Laura Kareena, President of Upstate Medical University, Dr. Paula Treef, Senior Associate Dean for Faculty Affairs and Faculty Development, Ms. Eileen Pezzi, Vice President for Development, Dr. David Duggan, Dean of the College of Medicine, Dr. Mark Schmidt, Dean of the College of Graduate Studies, Dr. Donald Simpson, Dean of the College of Health Professions and Interim Dean of the College of Nursing, Dr. Rajesh Davie, Dean of the Binghamton Campus, Dr. David Amberg, Vice President for Research, Ms. Maxine Thompson, Assistant Vice President for Diversity and Inclusion and Chief Diversity Officer, and Mr. Thomas Taylor, Chair of the Upstate Medical University Council. Dr. Brenner, would you please come forward to open our 2006 Fall Faculty Convocation?
Thank you, Dr. Cleary. President Laura Kareena, Council Chair Mr. Taylor, award recipients, honored guests, faculty, students, and friends. I am pleased to open the ceremony for the 2016 Fall Faculty Convocation. It is my honor to present Dr. Danielle Laura Kareena, President of the State University of New York, Upstate Medical University.
Adjustable. So, welcome. I always take a moment to pause and to take a look around the room so I can gather it all. Okay, so thank you. So I want to welcome you to the convocation of the year 2016. I want to welcome today's honorees, all the family members and friends that accompany them and have come to celebrate the incredible accomplishments of this group of individuals. I want to acknowledge the Upstate Foundation Board, Dodi Velasquez, and our elected officials, who I had the pleasure of seeing not too long ago. So thank you again for being here. Senator David Valesky, Assemblyman Al Sturpey, I'm searching. I'm sure he will join us. Assemblywoman Pamela Hunter, and Craig Zwicky, Legislative Director and Assemblyman Magnarelli's officer. I also want to thank Tom Taylor, who has already been acknowledged, who is the interim chair of the College Council, and Gwen Mennion, for their incredible leadership to the State University of New York. Our university, Upstate Medical University Faculty Fall Convocation, is in recognition of the excellence of our institution, which, as you know, is in large measure due to the character of the individuals who make up this university. We are in a place of learning and welcoming the new academic year. I hope you feel the enthusiasm, although we seem very solemn right this moment, okay? The new academic year and mastery as a journey of continuous professional and personal improvement. That is what we're about today. So in preparation for convocation, the calling together of our university, for those of you who may not be as familiar with the term convocate, which is a Latin term, an Italian term, it is the beginning of the academic year. And in preparation, I sifted through a number of books and thoughts. I had just come from joining the literature and medicine class last week with the excitement of the new students. There were 55 of them. So my thoughts ran through a number of poetry books. That's not surprising, probably, to a few of you who know my background. and seeking the words that might be meaningful to you today. Concurrently, the relevance of this past weekend had my thoughts go to the events of 9/11, and I could remember them vividly since I witnessed it firsthand. And how at this learned place, us students had actually gathered on Sunday, on 9/11, to reflect on a day of service. My mind continued to search for the words that might welcome you. So I did not settle and continued to sift through books that had been poignant for me over the years. And I have to thank Dr. Hart. I don't know if she's in the audience, but I thanked her since she, in fact, had invited me to the Literature and Medicine course. And in parallel, I reviewed the categories of the recognition of this celebratory day, a day of distinction for all the family members, and I know there are a number of, I thought I saw children in the room, but somehow they've disappeared, okay? And recognized by both the president, that happens to be me, and the chancellor, who is Nancy Zimpher. And the areas of recognition are broad, but deliberately so, to bring focus to excellence in service, teaching, scholarship and creative activities, research and leadership, affirmative action, voluntary faculty, philanthropy, and a special shout out to our young investigators. So I hope some of you are in the audience. The departments and disciplines span the basic sciences, the clinical and teaching endeavors, the community outreach aligned to our mission, values, and the vision for a better tomorrow. As my thoughts progressed, I settled into a more serene mood and began sifting through the pile of books that I read and reread, sometimes a number of them at the time concurrently, and one in particular drew me in again, The Emperor of All Maladies. And I'm not sure if some of you have read that, but it certainly spoke to me in preparation for this. It's a Pulitzer Prize-winning book by the author Siddhartha Mukherjee, an oncologist, who used the power of pen to translate the human story of hope, which is what I'd like to share with you with some brief thoughts today. So I am going to switch to books and read to you two passages that I wanted to share since I couldn't find better words than these. If a man die, William Carlos Williams once wrote, it is because death has possessed his imagination. Death possessed the imagination of my patients that month, and my task was to repossess imagination from death. It is a task almost impossibly difficult to describe, an operation more delicate and complex than the administration of a medicine or the performance of surgery. It was easy to repossess imagination with false promises, much harder to do with nuanced truths. It demanded an act of exquisite measuring and remeasuring, filling and unfilling a psychological respirator with oxygen. Too much repossession and imagination might bloat into delusion. Too little, it might asphyxiate hope altogether. The author goes on to describe the poignant memoir of David Reith, who describes a meeting between Susan Sontag, his mother, and a prominent doctor in New York. So he continues, Sontag, having survived uterine and breast cancer, had been diagnosed with myelodysplasia, a precancerous disease that often sours into full-blown leukemia. Sontag's myelodysplasia, he explains, was caused by the high-dose chemotherapy that she had received for the other cancers. The doctor Reeve calls him Dr. A, was totally pessimistic. There was no hope, he said flatly. And not just that, there was nothing to do but wait for cancer to explode out of the bone marrow. All options were closed. His word, the word, was final, immutable, static. Like so many doctors, Reeve recalls, he spoke to us as if we were children, but without the care that a sensible adult takes in choosing what words to use with a child. The sheer inflexibility of that approach and the arrogance of its finality was a nearly fatal blow for Sontag, the patient. hopelessness became breathlessness, especially for a woman who wanted to live twice as energetically, to breathe the world in twice as fast as anyone else, for whom stillness was mortality. So I skip a few to the next section that I want to relay to you. So the author goes on to show us the meaning of hope, because obviously this last passage was the obliteration of hope, and that's not what we're about today, okay? So he describes a meeting of two physicians and a patient. He says, one morning, for instance, a 66-year-old woman came to the clinic having just recovered from surgery for a large lung mass, which had turned out to be cancerous. Sitting alone in the room, awaiting news for her next steps, she looked nearly catatonic with fear. I was about to enter the room, the one physician says, when Lynch caught me by the shoulder and pulled me into the side room. He had looked through her scan and her reports. Everything about the excised tumor suggested a high risk of recurrence. But more important, he had seen folded over in fear in the waiting room this woman. Right now, he said, she needed something else. Resuscitation. He called it cryptically as he strode into her room. I watched him resuscitate. He emphasized process over outcome and transmitted astonishing amounts of information with a touch so slight that you might not even feel it. He told the patient about the tumor, the good news about the surgery, asked about her family, then spoke about his own. He spoke about his child who was complaining about her long days at school. Did she have a grandchild, he inquired. Did a daughter or son live close by? And then as I watched, he began to insert numbers here and there with a light-handedness that was a marvel to observe. You might read somewhere that for a particular form of cancer, there's a high chance of local recurrence or metastasis, he said, perhaps even 50 or 60%. She nodded, tensing up. Well, there are ways that we tend to it when that happens. I noted that he said when, not if. The numbers told a statistical truth, but the sentence implied nuance. We will tend to it, he said, not we will obliterate it. Care, not cure. So thank you for bearing with me in reading this passage, because each of us in our journey, whatever that is, we need to find inspiration and hope. And so I read this to you reflecting on your own work, the honorees here and all of us, the work this health science university does to provide hope in many areas, to combine rigorous science with compassion, extend our efforts to individual patients, students, faculty, staff, and our communities, those with many talents and much to hope for, but with challenges perhaps of individual struggles, poverty, violence, but nonetheless with the sustenance for partnership and hopeful steps. So on this day, I'm hopeful that your accomplishments, I'm speaking to those of you who are being honored today, propel you to continue the journey towards excellence at the service of hope. I'm hopeful that our university finds a collective voice and spirit to strive for those most vulnerable with a sense of equity. I'm hopeful that you as researchers, educators, clinicians, and staff continue to search for that cure that heals the mind and the body. And I'm hopeful to lead this university with wisdom and kindness. Thank you for being here today, and congratulations to all. I'm now pleased to begin the presentation of awards, and Dr. Brenner will assist with the distribution of the certificates and medallion. We will begin with the Academy of Upstate Educators. The Academy, which was established 4 years ago, was created with two primary goals. First, to provide recognition to a group of innovative and excellent educators who demonstrate the significant commitment to education that is a core part of our mission, and to provide a resource to faculty colleagues and administrative leaders as they address education-related issues. Members of the Academy are individuals who have consistently demonstrated excellence in educational activities. Dr. Treef, will you please come forward and present this year's members of the Academy of Upstate Educators?
Thank you, Dr. Laura Kareena. Dr. Laura Kareena, I am very pleased to present the following new members of this year's Academy of Upstate Educators, Dr. Thomas Schwartz and Dr. Rebecca Greenblatt. Dr. Thomas Schwartz, has been known as an outstanding educator in the College of Medicine since he joined Upstate in 1999. For the last several years, he has been the course director in the behavioral science course for year 2, as well as a clerkship director of the psychiatry clerkship year 3. He was a key member of the New Directions Task Force and currently serves on the curriculum committee, who you probably do know have overseen the creation of the new College of Medicine curriculum. Most recently, Dr. Schwartz has taken on the role of interim chair in the psychiatry department, in the Department of Psychiatry and Behavioral Sciences, my department. So we're very, very happy that he's taken on this role. In his teaching strategy, he first prepares students for the exam, because we all know that's really what they want. And then he transitions to additional information that makes really good clinical sense and skilled and empathic clinical interactions. His goal is to get good students to where they can be excellent doctors. He's a really dynamic public speaker. He receives universally exceptional remarks in his evaluations from students, and we're very pleased to welcome him to the Academy of Upstate Educators. Dr. Schwartz, please come forward to receive your certificate. And next, Dr. Rebecca Greenblatt. Dr. Rebecca Greenblatt's journey on the teaching track began at Upstate as a postdoctoral associate in 2003. Over the course of the next 5 years, she began teaching more lectures in the College of Medicine before she formally joined the Department of Microbiology and Immunology as a part-time instructor in 2008. But in 2014, she stepped into the role of assistant course director for the newly designed microbiology and immunology courses. In 2015, Dr. Greenblatt became co-director of the new Molecules, Cells, and Microbes course, really interesting, whereby she helped design the course and has been a leader in developing that course. During the same time, she became a founding instructor for another new course in the College of Graduate Studies, so she has really stepped up to very unique and exciting educational opportunities at Upstate. She's known among her students as engaging, enthusiastic, and entertaining, and while she provides clear and concise explanations of concepts and imbues them with a sense of excitement and enthusiasm for the topics that she's teaching. So we're, again, very pleased to welcome Dr. Rebecca Greenblatt to the Academy of Upstate Educators. Dr. Greenblatt, please come forward. Congratulations. We will now present the President's Awards for Philanthropic Service. And these awards are given to recognize contributions by way of charitable act or gift of time and talent to Upstate Medical University. Ms. Pezzi, will you please come forward to read the citations for these awards?
Dr. Laura Kareena, I am pleased to cite Franciscan Companies as corporate recipient of the President's Award for Excellence in Philanthropic Service. Throughout its more than 20-year relationship with the Upstate Foundation, Franciscan Companies, which provides in-home respiratory care, has provided an outstanding example of corporate philanthropy and service to the community. Over the years, Franciscan has significantly supported Upstate Medical University, the College of Health Professions, the Department of Physical Medicine and Rehabilitation, and numerous other Upstate programs. Franciscan's story is especially meaningful today because most of its senior leadership consists of Upstate respiratory therapy alumni. President and CEO Frank Smith Jr., 1972 alumnus and past respiratory therapy faculty member, will receive the award on behalf of the Franciscan Companies. Mr. Smith, please come forward to receive the President's Award for Philanthropic Service. Dr. Laura Kareena, I am pleased to present Ms. April Stone, recipient of the President's Award for Excellence in Philanthropic Service. April's giving history with the Upstate Foundation began in 1994. In addition to starting 2 funds and contributing to 2 capital campaigns, April and her company, CNY Infusion Services, have supported several foundation events, such as the Upstate's annual gala, the CNY Regional Skins Game, an art show benefiting pediatric services. She has also made gifts to the Continuum of Care Fund, the Critical Care Education Fund, and the Pediatric Pulmonary Center Fund. April donated her time to the Children's Hospital Advisory Council, where she was a member from 2005 to 2014. Her latest demonstration of her generosity and commitment to Upstate is the interactive flooring in the playroom on the 3rd floor of the Cancer Center, which is named in honor of her grandson, Jacob. Ms. Stone, please come forward to receive the President's Award for Philanthropic Service. We will now present the President's Awards for Outstanding Voluntary Faculty Service. These awards are given to recognize the outstanding voluntary contributions from our faculty to the Upstate Medical University community. Dr. Duggan, will you please come forward to present the award recipient for the College of Medicine?
Thank you, Eileen. Dr. Laura Kareena, I am pleased to present Dr. Lynn Pisaniello, recipient of the President's Award for Outstanding Voluntary Faculty Service. For years, Dr. Martha Lynn Pisaniello has served as a dedicated rural medical education program preceptor and has exhibited the finest examples of dedication and devotion to our students and their clinical excellence. Our RMed students moved to Lowville, New York, the home of Dr. Pisaniello's practice, for up to 9 months to become members of her practice at the South Lewis Family Health Center and Lewis County General Hospital. She provides a full scope of family care, including delivering babies at Lewis County General Hospital, where she is chief of the obstetrics service. Students give glowing reviews about the Lowville RMed experience. They comment not only on the warm welcome and caring exhibited by Dr. Pisaniello, but also on the quality of the education they receive in her practice. The student experience in Lowville and Lewis County General remains one of the true gems in our medical school's RMed program. Dr. Pisaniello was nominated by Dr. John Epling. Dr. Pisaniello, please come forward to receive the President's Award for Outstanding Voluntary Faculty Service. Dr. Davie, will you please come forward to present the award recipient for the President's Award for Outstanding Voluntary Faculty Service for the Binghamton campus?
Thank you, Dr. Duggan. Dr. Laura Kareena, I am pleased to present Dr. Jeffrey Weisman, the recipient of the President's Award for the Outstanding Voluntary Faculty Services. Dr. Jeffrey Weisman was appointed in the College of Medicine at Binghamton faculty as part of the Guthrie campus then, as a clinical instructor in 1993, and stayed there through 2007 and took a little bit of a sojourn into other things in life, and came back and was reappointed to the faculty as a voluntary faculty member as an assistant professor at the Binghamton campus, and came to work in the Binghamton community. He teaches very enthusiastically, These lectures are universally praised by the medical students when they rotate through the clerkship, as well as they take active role when he is in the OR. His organic leadership and ability to translate the knowledge in this tense environment in the OR has been very much appreciated, and students consider him as a role model. Dr. Wiseman was nominated by the Binghamton campus, and we are thrilled to have him here. Dr. Wiseman, will you please come forward to receive the President's Award? We'll now present the President's Award for Excellence in Teaching. These awards are given to recognize the outstanding teaching contributions of our faculty to the upstate medical community. Dr. Duggan, will you please come forward to present the award, President's Award for Teaching? Thank you.
Shall we dance? Dr. Laura Kareena, I'm pleased. We got your name down, don't we? Yeah. I'm pleased to present Dr. Gregory Healey, recipient of the President's Award for Excellence in Teaching. Dr. Gregory Healey is a private practice physician in Canton who joined the voluntary faculty in the Department of Family Medicine in 2005 to serve as a preceptor and a site coordinator for Upstate's Rural Medical Education Program. Dr. Healey has been selected as a master community faculty because he has fulfilled that role with gusto and as a clear leader. He has assisted in the coordinating of neighboring sites in the Adirondacks and Plattsburgh. In his consistently excellent student evaluations, he is noted for his expertise in primary care, his detailed knowledge of the most current guidelines and evidence, and his exemplary role as a physician leader in his community. He embraces a core value of family medicine, taking care of patients from all walks of life. Dr. Healey was nominated by his department chair, Dr. John Epling. Dr. Healey, please come forward to receive the President's Award for Excellence in Teaching. Dr. Schmidt, will you please come forward to present the award recipient for the College of Medicine Basic Science Department and College of Graduate Studies?
Dr. Laura Kareena, I am pleased to present Dr. Dana Mahalo, recipient of the President's Award for Excellence in Teaching. Dr. Mahalo came to Upstate Medical University in 2004 to obtain her PhD after completing her medical training in Bucharest, Romania. After completing her degree here, she became a research instructor and then a research assistant professor in the departments of neurology and cell and developmental biology. As a teacher, she is engaged, articulate, organized, accessible, and supportive. Her lectures have proven to be clear, concise, and well illustrated with clinical correlations. Respected and beloved, she'll spend time helping students understanding the subject matter that is clinically and spatially complex in a way that motivates the students to learn more. She also exemplifies how teaching is also about being a student ambassador, challenging them with questions and making them think and understand the principles of the material to fulfill the lesson's objective. Dr. Mahalo was nominated by her department chair, Dr. Joseph Sanger. Dr. Mahalo, please come forward to receive the President's Award for Excellence in Teaching. Dr. Simpson, will you please come forward to present the award recipient for the President's Award for Excellence in Teaching for the College of Nursing?
Dr. Laura Kareena, I'm pleased to present Dr. Bambi Karki, recipient of the President's Award for Excellence in Teaching. When Dr. Bambi Karki was appointed the director of the Clinical Affairs Office at Upstate's College of Nursing in 2014, she immediately began assessing the difficulties the students encountered with their clinical placements. She organized a systems-wide approach to resolve them. She has developed new placements, streamlined the process for students, and strengthened relationships with our clinical partners across the state. Dr. Karki also teaches and coordinates the Family Psychiatric Mental Health Nurse Practitioner Program. She's able to impart even the most complex concepts in a way that students understand. She has excellent interpersonal skills and often goes above and beyond to advise, support, and advocate for students. She's instrumental in training psychiatric nurse practitioners. She takes RNs with various backgrounds and teaches them specifically how to become a psychiatric provider to manage a variety of patients with a host of psychiatric disorders. She has also taken a lead and represented the College of Nursing well within her professional education across Upstate Medical University. Dr. Karki was nominated by Dr. Joyce Griffin Sobel, former Dean of the College of Nursing. Dr. Karki, please come forward to receive the President's Award for Excellence in Teaching. Dr. Davie, will you please come forward to present the award recipient for the President's Award for Excellence in Teaching for the Binghamton campus?
Thank you, Dr. Simpson. Dr. Laura Kareena again. I'm pleased to present Dr. Patrick Ruggiero, the recipient of President's Award for Excellence in Teaching. Dr. Patrick Ruggiero served as a preceptor in OBGYN for the last 25 years. But more importantly, he's an alum of Upstate Medical and an alum of Clinical Campus. So it's a pleasure to have him getting this award specifically for teaching the students. During that time, he's proven himself to be an excellent bedside teacher, a good evaluation, consistently getting through about his availability, helpfulness, effectiveness in that role. And he has communicated not only with technical and clinical aspects of the discipline, but his love and passion for the practice. So he transmits that knowledge going forward to the students, and they understand that aspect of private practice. Dr. Ruggiero has brought new organization and enthusiasm and has taken over the site leadership of the OBGYN clerkship and is responding to all of Dr. Folk's emails as well, which is a pleasure for him and us all. Dr. Ruggiero was nominated by the Binghamton campus, so Dr. Ruggiero, will you please come forward to receive President's Award? At this time, I'm pleased to announce the President's Award for Excellence in Clinical Research by a young investigator. This award was established to recognize our young investigators who have had exceptional success in initiating the research careers while meeting their responsibility as clinicians. Dr. Emberg, will you please come forward to present this award?
Dr. Laura Kareena. I am pleased to present Dr. Manika Surya-Davra, recipient of the President's Award for Excellence in Clinical Research by a Young Investigator. Since her career began at Upstate as a medical student, Dr. Manika Surya-Davra has established a reputation as a bright, dedicated, and hardworking professional who has brought poise to everything she does. Since 2012, she has had a demanding clinical load, working 2 jobs as a hospitalist and an infectious disease specialist. Her major interests have included respiratory viruses and vaccine educational interventions. Despite her busy clinical load, she has managed to launch a successful research career. She has been awarded more than $350,000 in grant funding, including competitive funding from the American Academy of Pediatrics. Her efforts in exploring novel therapeutics for the treatment of respiratory infections common in young children have gained funding interest from extramural sources. Her work in vaccine hesitancy education has included research funding through Pfizer's Aspire Award and has led to the successful vaccine advocacy program at the Salvation Army of Central New York. Dr. Surya Davra was nominated by Dr. Ann Botash. Dr. Sierra Adava, please come forward to receive the President's Award for Excellence in Clinical Research by a Young Investigator. At this time, I'm pleased to announce the President's Award for Excellence in Basic Research by a Young Investigator. This award was established to recognize our young investigators who have had exceptional success in initiating their research careers. Dr. Laura Kareena, I am pleased to present Dr. Gary Chan, recipient of the President's Award for Excellence in Basic Research by a Young Investigator. The innovative nature of Dr. Chan's work, along with the potential of his research, offers the promise of improving human health. His work focuses on studying human cytomegalovirus, a ubiquitous virus infecting to 90% of the United States population. HCMV, a herpes virus, is the leading viral cause of death in newborns, infectious birth defects, and a major cause of complications, including organ failure following tissue transplantation. New treatments and preventative vaccines are needed, and the efforts of Dr. Chan's work is focused on identifying new drug targets. The high quality of his work is also reflected in his ability to quickly obtain independent funding from several agencies. Despite the currently tough funding climate, his lab is thriving with grants from the National Institute of Allergy and Infectious Disease, the National Institutes of Health, and the American Heart Association. Dr. Chan was nominated by one of his students, Alasia Kojahari. Dr. Chan, please come forward to receive the President's Award for Excellence in Basic Research by a Young Investigator. At this time, I am extremely pleased to announce the President's Award for Excellence and Leadership in Research. This award is given to recognize outstanding contributions in research that will impact the health of the communities we serve. Dr. Laura Kareena, I am pleased to present Dr. Timothy Damron, the 2016 recipient of the President's Award for Excellence and Leadership in Research. Dr. Damron is truly one of our rock star researchers. He's a triple threat in that he has developed within his laboratory an outstanding environment to mentor young scientists. He's world-renowned for his research program and is one of our top clinical clinicians. Dr. Damron established himself as a national leader in orthopedic oncology very early in his career and has become world-renowned in the area of bone and soft tissue sarcoma. He is an outstanding research mentor for orthopedic surgery residents, graduate students, and Upstate medical students. The Damron Lab is highly productive, showing constant innovation and progress in understanding bone cancers. His numerous contributions have made significant advancements in the way patients are treated and followed, along with far-reaching implications within many scientific and medical fields. He and his trainees are considered among the top researchers in the field of radiation therapy-induced bone damage. His total grants over the past 20 years have brought more than $5 million to our campus, including several grants from the National Institutes of Health and the Carol M. Baldwin Breast Cancer Research Fund. Dr. Damron was nominated by his department chair, Dr. Stephen Albanese. Dr. Damron, please come forward to receive the President's Award for Excellence and Leadership in Research. Dr. Laura Kareena, I'm pleased to announce the President's Award for Excellence in Professional Service. This award is given to recognize the outstanding professional contributions to the Upstate Medical University community. Dr. Clary, will you please come forward to present the award recipient?
It's my sincere pleasure to present Ms. Sharon Heward, recipient of the President's Award for Excellence in Professional Service. Ms. Heward began her tenure at Upstate in 1998 as the Assistant Director of College Housing. She became the Director of Student Support Services in 2007, and it was in that role in which her service to students in this institution became evident to all that had the good fortune to interact with her. In fact, during this same time frame, she was recognized as Campus Supervisor of the Year. Ms. Heward's commitment and dedication resulted in a promotion to Associate Dean of Student and Multicultural Affairs in 2011. In each role, she has far exceeded expectations and has worked tirelessly to meet students' needs and fiercely advocate on their behalf. As Associate Dean, Ms. Heward has built an impressive and multidimensional system of support for our students, and in particular, our students from backgrounds traditionally underrepresented in medicine and research. She does whatever it takes to meet their needs, including social and emotional. Ms. Heward was nominated by Dr. Julie White. Sharon, please come forward to receive the President's Award for Excellence in Professional Service. We will now announce the recipient of the President's Award for Excellence in Faculty Service. This award was established to recognize outstanding contributions made by faculty of Upstate Medical University to the community. I'm honored to present Dr. Leonard Weiner, recipient of the President's Award for Excellence in Faculty Service. Dedicated service to our campus, university, and community has been the hallmark of Dr. Weiner's career that spans more than 4 decades. His work has had broad national and international impact that has benefited children's health globally and raised the image of Upstate as a leader in pediatrics. He has applied his skills in scholarship, research, administration, and teaching to multiple issues of public concern, particularly in the area of infectious diseases affecting children. These roles were all performed while he continued to provide expert care and consultation for children with infectious disease and immunological problems in central New York. Dr. Weiner has remained a role model and mentor for many of his students, residents, and colleagues. His publications continue to have important implications for immunology and infectious disease. Dr. Weiner was nominated by Dr. Ann Botash. Dr. Weiner, please come forward to receive the President's Award for Excellence in Faculty Service. We will now present the President's Award for Advancement of Affirmative Action. This award is given to recognize the outstanding contributions in this area to Upstate Medical University. Ms. Thompson, will you please come forward to present the award recipient?
Danielle. It is my pleasure to present Ms. Nakia Chambers, recipient of the President's Award for Advancement of Affirmative Action. Ms. Chambers has dedicated her professional career to promoting diversity in an academic medical center. She began her career at Upstate as diversity student recruiter and C-STEP program coordinator in 2006. She implemented the initial grant for funding Upstate's Collegiate Science and Technology program and also coordinated the recruitment process for the Medical Scholars Program and SUNY Buffalo's Post-Baccalaureate program, both of which are examples of bridges to medical school for underrepresented students. In 2007, she was promoted to Director of Multicultural Affairs, and she worked with Upstate's Latino student group, LMSA, to establish the MEDS program at Henniker High School, which continues today. This program offers workshops for students preparing for medical school. She also was instrumental in creating the Multicultural Overnight for Accepted Medical Students of Color and has been instrumental for many years in Black History Month celebrations that occur across the campus. In 2015, she became the Diversity Initiative Specialist, where she currently works with hiring managers to help them craft a workforce that is more reflective of our community. Ms. Chambers' nomination was completed by Tree Carter. Ms. Chambers, please come forward to receive the President's Award for the advancement of affirmative action. Our next set of awards will be the Chancellor's Awards. We will now present those awards bestowed upon individuals by the State University of New York. At this time, I would counsel member Mr. Taylor, will you please come forward to read the citations for the Chancellor's Awards?
Dr. Laura Kareena, I am pleased to present 3 recipients for the Chancellor's Award for Excellence in Classified Service: Mrs. Margaret Burke, Ms. Brenda Perez, and Ms. April Tyler. Margaret Burke has had responsibility for a remarkable variety of programs and projects over the past almost 30 years at Upstate. She organizes the annual Fall Convocation, supports the President's Awards, SUNY Distinguished Professorships, and the honorary degree recipients. She coordinates the leadership giving portion of our on-campus community giving campaign for CIFA and the United Way, organizes legislative meetings and events of the Office of Government and Community Relations, and now supports the Office of University Compliance and Ethics. Margie manages all operational details of the project medical education programs for legislators and their aides, so they can learn about how an academic health center works. These are only a sample of her current responsibility, working in 3 distinct offices. While the volume and variety of her responsibilities are impressive, it is the quality of her work and her professionalism and service that led to her nomination for this award. Margie is quietly effective in her work, trusted and sought after for help with projects from small to large. She is a role model for efficiency, fair process, and working behind the scenes to get the job done well. Ms. Burke was nominated by Dr. Lynn Cleary, Wynn Thurlow, and Dan Hurley. Ms. Burke, please come forward to receive the Chancellor's Award for Excellence in Classified Service. Brenda Perez has a long history as an exemplary employee of Upstate Medical University, beginning in 1986. In 2011, she joined the Clinical Laboratory Science Department as secretary in the College of Health Professions and has consistently excelled in her work, passing all expectations. She has had a major role in planning multiple events for the department, including the college's Health Career Shadow Day programs, advisory committee meetings, the annual faculty retreat, faculty meetings, and recruitment activities. She works well independently and tackles each project with great enthusiasm. She is especially sensitive to the needs of students, having an innate ability to interact with them by creating a warm, welcoming environment where they feel comfortable and supported. She is considered by members of faculty as the consummate administrative professional whose skill level and motivation allows her to meet the needs of Upstate to ensure a more efficient and organized work environment. Ms. Perez was nominated by Josephine Perzipora. Ms. Perez, please come forward to receive the Chancellor's Award for Excellence in Classified Service. April Tyler has been a clinical leader on the 9E Neuroscience Intermediate Care Unit since 2003, where her responsibilities include mentoring nurses in various stages of experience. She shows nursing students what the profession is all about while allowing them to experience a day in the life of a nurse. She also mentors nurses, teaching them leadership skills and how to coordinate a nursing unit. She consistently leads by example and promotes teamwork. She includes all members of the team in making decisions for the patients, receives input from the nurses when making staffing assignments, coordinates patient care with the therapists and radiology technicians, and includes patients in the care decisions. Recognized as a caring and compassionate nurse, Ms. Tyler takes special care with patients and their family members to keep them informed, to offer encouragement, and keep them in good spirits. She demonstrates a "what can I do for you" attitude, along with compassion, professionalism, knowledge, and wisdom shine through her as she provides care to her patients and leadership to her fellow staff. Ms. Tyler was nominated by Meredith Lang. Ms. Tyler, please come forward to receive the Chancellor's Award for Excellence in Classified Service. Dr. Laura Kareena, I am pleased to present Ms. Linda Vide, recipient of the Chancellor's Award for Excellence in Professional Service. For more than 3 decades, Linda Vide has demonstrated stellar performance, going above and beyond the responsibilities in her positions as laboratory technician, clinical research associate, and more recently as a project staff associate and special projects coordinator for the Upstate Cancer Center. At the Cancer Center, she has roles in clinical programming, education, community screening programs, advocacy, fundraising, and scholarship. She develops, implements, and evaluates new and existing programs within the Cancer Center umbrella, interacts with external stakeholders and organizations, government and legislative bodies, and educational institutions. Ms. Vide has demonstrated commitment to individual patients as well as to the care of the population of Central New York through screening and education efforts. She not only organized cancer screening projects and secured grant funding, but also developed a dissemination model for other cancer centers in effective lung cancer screening. She has extended Upstate's reach to the community's underserved and underscreened inner city women through the breast cancer screening initiative, She Matters, and most recently in colorectal cancer screening by establishing the We Matter program. In 2014, she received the President's Award for Excellence in Professional Service. Dr. Leslie Coleman nominated her for that award. Ms. Vide, please come forward to receive the Chancellor's Award for Excellence in Professional Service. Dr. Laura Kareena, I am pleased to present Dr. Ronald Soleski, recipient of the Chancellor's Award for Excellence in Faculty Service. Dr. Ronald Soleski has dedicated his life of service to the care of troubled, abandoned, and abused children, along with their biological and foster families. He also serves as a resource, consultant, and trainer to the many professionals involved with these children. Dr. Soleski serves Upstate's Department of Psychiatry and Behavioral Sciences as Chief Child Psychologist and Director of Child Psychology Training in the Division of Child and Adolescent Psychiatry. For the past 24 years, he has been the psychologist for the Enhanced Foster Care Program, a multidisciplinary primary health care clinic for children in foster care in Onondaga County. Dr. Soleski is an early front-runner in providing integrated care to children at Upstate's Pediatric Outpatient Clinic and the Joslin Diabetes Center. He also lectures and teaches courses in child psychotherapy and child development for Upstate medical students and advanced trainees in psychology, child psychiatry, and clinical social work, and provides lectures in child psychology for residents in pediatrics and family medicine. In 2015, he received the President's Award for Excellence in Faculty Service, nominated by his department chair, Dr. Robert Gregory. Dr. Soleski, please come forward to receive the Chancellor's Award for Excellence in Faculty Service. Thank you. Dr. Laura Kareena, I am pleased to present Dr. Ann Botosh, recipient of the Chancellor's Award for Excellence in Teaching. Dr. Ann Botosh is a national leader in the fields of educating professionals who provide care to vulnerable children. A general pediatrician and expert in child abuse, she is known as a superb educator. She is a creative, innovative teacher who has taught medical students, pediatric residents, and practicing physicians from across the country for more than 2 decades. She has served as Vice Chair for Educational Affairs in the Department of Pediatrics for more than 10 years, is a Director of the Pediatric Clerkship for Upstate's medical students and advisor for Docs for Tots, a pediatric interest group for medical students. She has mentored numerous students, residents, and junior faculty. While Dr. Botosh's pediatric clerkship for medical students is known to be rigorous and demanding, students repeatedly emphasize her accessibility and concern and her personal interest in each of them. Dr. Botosh serves on multiple Upstate institutional educational committees and is a founding member of the Academy of Upstate Educators. In 2014, she received the President's Award for Excellence in Teaching, nominated by her department chair, Dr. Thomas Welch. Dr. Botosh, please come forward to receive the Chancellor's Award for Excellence in Teaching. Dr. Laura Kareena, I am pleased to present the prestigious SUNY Distinguished Service Professorship and Distinguished Teaching Professorship. These appointments constitute a promotion to the university's highest academic rank and authority to appoint to these ranks resides solely within the State University of New York Board of Trustees. I am pleased to present Dr. David Layman, who is being named as Distinguished Service Professor of the State University of New York. As a teacher, physician, scholar, and colleague, Dr. David Layman has taken the opportunity to advance what he holds dear to his heart: safe, effective, and cost-effective prescribing of medication for patients in Syracuse, New York, New York State, the United States, and around the world. He embraces the education of physicians and all healthcare providers as key in the delivery of safe care. Dr. Layman's educational background, professional interests, and values are truly unique. Of the very few who have both a Doctor of Pharmacy and a Doctor of Medicine degrees, only a handful work in academic medical centers as practicing internists and educators, actively involved in patient care and teaching in clinical pharmacology. A frequent lecturer in pharmacology, students, residents, and colleagues regard him as a brilliant clinician. He has been a lifelong educator and advocate for improving patient care. He has also taken his skills across the globe. Early in his career, he served as an instructor in the Kaplong Nursing School and director of pharmacy at the Kaplong Mission Hospitals in Kenya. He was also an attending physician in the National Health Service Corps in Saipan in the 1990s and a consulting visiting professor in pharmacology and on the International Advisory Board at the Patan Academy of Health Sciences in Kathmandu University, Nepal, in 2009 to 2011. Dr. Layman was nominated by Dr. Vincent Frechette. Dr. Layman, please come forward to acknowledge your very distinguished honor. I am pleased to present Dr. Patricia Kane, who is being named a distinguished teaching professor of the State University of New York. Dr. Patricia Kane is professor and chair of the Department of Biochemistry and Molecular Biology. She is widely respected by students and colleagues as an outstanding scientist, educator, and leader. Her exceptional enthusiasm and perspective on science set an example for the future generations of teachers and scientists. Dr. Kane's intellect and enthusiasm for biochemistry and molecular biology make her an excellent teacher in the lecture hall, the seminar, and especially in the laboratory. She has trained more than 25 graduate students and postdoctoral fellows, many of whom now hold important positions in academia and biotechnology industries. She has a love of teaching, and she inspires her students with her own passion for learning. She provides the perfect balance of challenge and belonging for students, researchers in her lab. She spends substantial one-on-one time with students, treating them with respect, engaging them in discussion, sharing perspective, providing a space that is safe for individual experimentation and safe for failure, which simultaneously allows students to grow in confidence and become independent thinkers and investigators. Dr. Kane was nominated by her student, Subhajit Banerjee. Dr. Kane, please come forward to acknowledge your very distinguished honor. I present yourself.
So while we took a great deal of time to share with you the reasons that we acknowledge these individuals today, I think you get the idea that this is one university, that in order to achieve excellence, we must do it together. We must march together, but we must also stop and recognize each other's contributions and have great respect for those contributions. So I think this is my first convocation as a new president, and I have to say that I thank everyone who's here, and for us to get together and to applaud each other for the accomplishments and to really focus on the purpose of our being here, which is to improve the health of individuals and communities collectively. So I can't thank you enough. I hope to see you next year. We are going to continue the good work, and I want us to give a final applause to our honorees today.